in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago. This crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On first down, it's Lane. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Here's Lance. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle. Going to be key. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget Paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game.
I'm going to break it.
I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And some room to roam now. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. They go play action now. Lawrence. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
And some space here. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Eric Armstead able to record his 5th sack of the season. On second down now, it's Hines, and he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Here's Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
You know, are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. Eluding the pressure right. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Now Lawrence on first down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it a second down. Throwing again here, it's Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and it'll be third down. Here's Lawrence to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
The kick by Lambeau is good, and that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in.
Touchdown, 49ers! I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him, and once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The Jags with a football to begin the second quarter. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 46. On play action, Lawrence. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. This is Hines. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
This to the sideline and nearly intercepted. Oh, he had that in his grasp. Couldn't get it. Instead, it'll bring up 3rd down. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Now Lawrence. Touchdown! A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that'll make this a 6-point game. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Touchdown, 49ers! Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage. Extra point right down the middle. And with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big connection on that one. 31 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Lawrence. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked up by Noah Igbinoghene. And the 49ers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Throwing on first down is Lance. Flushed out right. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
They'll run on first down. Lane. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. To throw, it's Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he is going to have the 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That right there, career catch number 541, and that's significant because it ties him with Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow, who also obviously played the tight end position.
Yeah, and helped revolutionize it when he was in San Diego. But how about what we're seeing right here? You're talking about 541 catches at the tight end position. You talk about lofty territory, rare air. He has a lot to be proud of in his career.
It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
64 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get.
Touchdown 49ers! George Kittle, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 8. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Lawrence will throw. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's going to get this to the 40-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They go play action with Lawrence. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Niners are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On first down, it's Lane, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Flush to his right. He finds his man, complete. That's Lane. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. On first down, Lance. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Here's second and 10. Play action, now it's Lance. Going for the deep ball. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Off of play action, here's Lance. Wide open receiver, complete. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun now for Lance. Escaping, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the first down sack. Lance making the catch. This is the tight end, Oliver. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Throwing now is Lance. And it's complete. In the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Niners will extend their lead here just before halftime. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. Four seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And got his man complete.
Come on now, let's go.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Both these teams, no doubt, making their final halftime adjustments as we speak. And for the call of the second half, we get it back out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lawrence. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question.
And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
He's thankful right now for that sideline because it could have been a fumble loss, instead just a fumble, though they will have to punt it down.
You're right about that, but do you think there's ever been a player happier to see his own punter go on the field than him?
No.
I mean, not at all, right? How fortunate is he that they got a chance to punt it away, and it's not just a turnover at the spot.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2.
He finds his man, complete. That's Lane. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Montez Sweat in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Lance, he's going to air one out. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards.
I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Rolling to his left. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
Here's Lance to throw it.
This will be caught at about the 6. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And his kick here is good.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw again on 2nd down, Lawrence. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, see, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. They'll run on 1st down. It's Lane. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this one is incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. Here's Moss with a catch out of the backfield.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there. His fourth touchdown on the year.
And the Jaguars have got it back to a two-score game here in the fourth.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead will be cut down to 14. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Lance looking to throw it.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. 77 yards.
And the 49ers are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Lawrence. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked off at the 28, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. On first down, Lane. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Now a play fake. Lance.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this fourth quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Holmes going to opt against bringing it out, and they will begin at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. They drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Man open, it's Moss complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Lawrence going to throw again. This is caught. It's Boyd. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days in Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just...
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Jags get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for San Francisco, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle.